Hey, Biscuit. G'day, Groovers. This is my first live on the Smooth Criminal channel. Could be. It's not going to be my last. Just thought I'd go live probably for about half an hour. I've just made a cup of tea. Can show you the gorgeous view from my deck. Oh, the wind's picking up now and it's pretty cold. But what a stunning day here today. It's going to rain tomorrow and apparently for the next few days. So made the most of the sunny weather today. Went for an amazing walk earlier and I don't know. Uh-oh, that's a minor bird who's spotted Biscuit. She's protecting the house. Yeah, I don't normally go live on this channel, so I'm not even expecting anyone to join me. It's kind of weird, but I thought I'd just update you on what's happened with my yumtors channel. Bad news, unfortunately. There's no way the strike's going to be retracted. Unfortunately, I've been struck by someone who has no sense of humour and who did a lot of mansplaining to me in the emails that I got. And I've got to be careful what I say. I don't want to end up being sued for anything, but I will be talking about the email correspondence that went between me and the guy that struck me on my other channel. I can't zoom. The beach looks like it's a million miles away, but it's really not. I don't know if anyone will even join me on this channel. Kind of, I don't know, a bit of an experiment, really. But Biscuit's enjoying rummaging in the weed tub over there. Oh, someone's with me now. G'day, whoever that is. So, yeah, I've kind of burst my bubble a bit today. The emails that went between me and the guy who has struck my other channel, the yumtors channel. I think he told a little lie too in one of the emails. I've done a bit of research on YouTube this afternoon, and my understanding is when it's a strike, content gets flagged and the content creator / owner is notified, and then it's up to them whether they go with the infringement or no action or strike the channel. But he told me in the email that it was, oh, that person's left. Oh, well, I'll just sit here and talk about it and then end the live. And if anyone's curious to know what happened, basically yumtors will not be back for 90 days. And I've had a lovely day, but it really has been bugging me all day. And I'm a big believer in choosing your battles, and I've decided I'm not going to continue to try to convince this guy to change his mind because he spent a lot of time mansplaining. Hey, Mercedes girl. Just sitting out on my deck. I'm having a cup of tea. Biscuit's down there. Checking out what's going on, that sort of blob in the distance. Hey, Twiggy. Yeah, I have Mercedes girl, and I tried my hardest to get this guy to reconsider, and he was just so mean in his emails, and he emailed me quite late last night. Well, I emailed him late-ish, but, 9-ish. The last email I got from him was at 11 p.m, and I thought about it this morning and just decided you choose your battles, and I've decided there's no point with this guy because he's just not going to back down. All he did was mansplain how copyright law works and pretty much told me I was a thief and I deserved it, and also said that YouTube chose to strike me, which I think is actually bullshit. And part of me wanted to write back to him and go, well, that's not what YouTube says. And another part of me was like, do I want this bad juju? he had the audacity to end his last email with "Good luck with your channel" at the end of it. And he just doesn't have a sense of humour either. Like I said, I thought what he did was really un-Australian, especially considering it was about Vegemite, which is one of the most iconic Australian things there is. And he took great offence to that and pretty much said that the conversation had degenerated into personal attacks and insults from me, and that he regrets responding to my emails because they always degenerate. And when he said that, I thought, well, clearly I'm not the first person you've done this to. If we're talking emails plural. So yeah, I mean, the only other thing I thought about doing was maybe emailing Vegemite and just saying, hey, this happened. Because that's the other thing. This guy, the guy that struck me isn't from Vegemite, and he's not from Bega, and he's not from Kraft, who used to own Vegemite. He has a channel on YouTube which has a lot of old Australian TV commercials and TV shows on it. And then I didn't get the email from YouTube, which had his email address in it, until after Mel and I'd gone live. I agree, Mercedes girl, it's not worth the bad juju. But I'm so bummed about it because that channel to me was my creative outlet. A lot of people have an idea of what I've been through, but a lot of people don't. My channel was kind of my contact with the real world and my social contact when I was diagnosed with burnout, adrenal burnout, and debilitating anxiety. And for a long time, I had lost all interest in everything that I loved, and I didn't have the energy to do much anyway. So when my creative bug returned and I wanted to write and do fun things on my channel, it was so fulfilling. And it was such a great outlet for me because I was pretty isolated socially. This is pre-COVID. Um, and my channel represented my recovery and my progress. And so, and I was really proud of the community that it attracted. And I loved how much you guys all look out for each other. And there's so much love in my chat. I love it. So it's not even about what the channel might have become or what plans I may have had for it. And to be honest, I didn't really have any plans at all. I just wanted to keep doing it. Yeah, it's not about that. It's about what that channel represented. And this guy was just, I don't meet many mean people. This guy was like, every mean person I've met had some humanity in them or a sense of humor. He's got nothing. Watch him strike this channel now for defamation if he finds it. So yeah, a bit of a bummer. But I've got my cup of tea. Biscuit's already gone back inside, curled up on her beanbag. It's a little bit warmer in the house than it is out here on the deck, but I've got a fluffy jumper on, so I'm cool. And a hot cup of tea. But yeah, I don't know whether you guys want me to go through the email exchange, but what I was saying completely fell on deaf ears. He just kept mansplaining and then didn't get my little attempt at some lighthearted discussion and accused me of degenerating the conversation to personal attacks and insults. And there's no way he's going to budge. I know that even if I responded to his last email, part of me really wants to, he possibly won't respond again. And even if he does, he's still not going to listen to me. So what's the point? It's just going to make me feel even worse if I keep engaging with him. Yeah, I think it's unreasonable. I think it's unfair, definitely, to strike a channel, especially a small, non-monetized channel. I mean, I'm the person at fault because I played it on my channel. But that being said, I've played so much music on my channel and not one musician has struck me. A lot of them will do a copyright infringement, which just means if those videos down the track are monetized, they get the money. And I'm cool with that. I play artists that I like. You know, I'm happy for them to make money because I played their song. I have no problem with that at all. But there's also a shitload of music I've played that they've done nothing about it. Cat Stevens, James Taylor, um, who else? Someone recently. Like, they don't care. But he struck me and I said, you know, I'm asking you to reconsider and retract it. And I just got a lecture about how much of a scumbag I am. And yeah, I mean, I can read them. I've printed them off. I've got the coolest printer, guys. I got a Bluetooth printer the other day at Harvey Norman for like $50. And it's a Bluetooth. It's tiny. It's the smallest printer I've ever seen. It's got this really beautiful blue color that matches the sky in my house. And I just print from my phone. It's so cool. So I printed the emails off. I agreed, Twiggy, and I wanted to question that, which is why part of me feels like writing to Vegemite and just saying, I mean, I even offered to pay this guy because when I got his email address, it was after Mel and I had been live and we were blaming Vegemite, which I feel bad about now. But we are both entertainers and try to be funny. So, you know, we were mucking around a little bit, but then I got the email of the person who had struck my channel. And from that email address, I punched into Google part of the email address and up came another YouTube channel. And then on the YouTube channel, I found the link to a website. And the website is set up where people pay for archived material, TV stuff, basically, to him. And he gives them the full clips for money. But I'm curious that I want to know if he's paid Vegemite for that commercial or is he just making money off it? I mean, I'm sure it's all legitimate. He's so fucking serious. I doubt he'd be doing anything dodgy. But that's my point too, Twiggy. It's like these musicians, I play their original work. I play their original content and they don't strike my channel. This guy has a channel full of old TV commercials and TV shows that he charges people for the full episodes, but it's not even his original work. I mean, do I write to Vegemite and say, you know, I was having fun, I was cooking, I was live, we played your ad, we were chatting to our international subscribers about Vegemite, you know, we were plugging your product, and now this dude, just because it came from his fucking channel, that's the shitty thing. The shitty thing is it came from this guy's channel because this guy is mean. Why couldn't it have come from a nicer guy's channel? But I might as well read my emails out and get some feedback. So I said, dear blah, I won't mention names or anything or his channel. Hey, Francesca. Yeah, I'm just going to read the email exchange I had with the guy who struck my channel because after Mel and I finished last night, we were chatting for a little while and in my YouTube studio, YouTube had given me the name or the email of the person that had struck my channel. So I emailed them and this is the exchange. So, dear blank, I'm writing to you regarding the strike on my Yumtors channel on YouTube. I must say I'm quite devastated that you would strike a small Australian channel. In my experience, it's incredibly rare for any non-monetized channels to receive strikes on YouTube, especially when content creators can simply ask for their material to be clipped from a live broadcast. I've been on YouTube for 2 years and my channel was starting to grow at a rate that monetization was going to be possible fairly soon in the new year. But that wasn't the main reason for my channel. It gave me a great outlet when I was unwell, and I'm proud of the community that I've built. Your strike has and will cause irreparable damage to it. Your website states that you offer broadcasters and production houses a footage and research supply service. There might be terms connected to that supply, but when we played the Vegemite ad, it was at the end of a cooking live, and I played it just to show my international subs the early footage, not to upset you or breach any terms of your channel. I was actually promoting Vegemite, who haven't struck my channel or even issued a copyright infringement regarding their archival footage. I'm humbly asking you to reconsider the strike. I go live on my channel most days showing off Tasmania and pre-COVID-19 other parts of the country, cooking and even scam baiting. I'm not just told him about scam baiting. I'm not monetized. I didn't use the footage to blatantly disregard your channel or resources, and I would hope that you understand it was an innocent mistake. I'm more than happy to chat with you about this. I gave him my number. I'm gutted to think Vegemite, a product that's been a staple in my home and my diet my entire life, has possibly led to me having to rebuild a YouTube channel from scratch after 2 years' hard work. I look forward to hearing from you. And then I put at the bottom just cheekily, P.S. Please consider putting the rose back in my cheeks, which is a line from the Vegemite jingle. So I thought it was a fairly nice email. It was expressing my disappointment. It was explaining that I'm not monetized. My channel's small, but I'm proud of it. It represents a lot for me. And Vegemite hasn't spat the dummy about anything. And it's their ad that I play just because it's on his channel. He doesn't own it. I mean, what do you grievers think? That was a pretty reasonable email from me. It wasn't like, what the fuck did you do, you fucking fucker? Was it? I thought it was pretty reasonable. Anyway, he wrote back half an hour later. Hi, thanks for your email. The clips on the YouTube channel are for preview only. If you wish to source them or use them in any other form, you must gain permission from me and pay the appropriate fees for supply or have them cleared with the original content owner. Now, I hadn't told him at this point that I hadn't spoken to Vegemite. He just assumed that I hadn't. Yeah, thank you, Francesca, for saying, and thank you, Twiggy. Lisa Sky, g'day. I would write, can't hurt. Yeah, I'm going to write to Vegemite, I think. I just had to get through today being really disappointed with this dude. But he, told me that they had to be cleared with the original content owner. Well, he doesn't know that I hadn't spoken to Vegemite. So big assumption there from him. And what would have happened if I had? I would have written back and gone, well, I did get permission for Vegemite and strike my channel, you jerk. Anywho, any form of ripping them and reuse is clearly then no longer being used for preview. It is using them in a manner that is circumnavigating sourcing them officially from an archive where fees to supply the copy then cover the costs to preserve the material in the first place. Yeah, I'm contacting Vegemite. We are no longer adding clips to the channel because people and broadcasters ripping them and using them at no charge is defeating the purpose of them being for preview only. If we would add lots of clips to the channel and people use them in their broadcasts or channels freely, we'd soon go under. And lots of material wouldn't be there anymore for people to take, as we wouldn't have the money to preserve them to begin with. Hope that makes sense and explains why there is now a zero tolerance policy in this regard. Hey, Mercedes girl, they've already cut it out. It's already been removed, even though the video's vanished. There's a message from YouTube saying that it was cut out of the video, which is what normally happens with an infringement. I have to set it up to do the trimming, but I got a message from YouTube saying the content had already been removed. So just further adding to Mr. Zero Tolerance Policy Man. So that was his response, which was a real total fuck you. No acknowledgement of anything that I had said, not even accepting my apology, just lecturing me about his money-making channel. And, he thinks he's preserving all of these archives and he's charging people to access them. But the link that I used played the full ad. It wasn't a preview. It was the full ad. It only went for 59 seconds. I'm just so bummed that it came from this dude's channel because yeah, I'll keep reading. So yeah, I got the message, zero tolerance policy. No, he didn't have to strike me. Um, Thank you for getting back to me so promptly. Bleh. I didn't even know about your website until I found it after YouTube provided your email. I didn't blatantly breach any terms of your website, nor did I know that you've had numerous creators use your material, which has led to your stringent zero tolerance policy. In hindsight, I wish I hadn't played the clip that had been posted. Sorry. In hindsight, I wish I hadn't played the clip. Sorry. In hindsight, I wish I'd not played the clip nor shown it. I've left a word out to my international subscribers. In hindsight, I regret not using footage directly via Vegemite or not at all. Again, my sincere apologies. Zero tolerance is one thing, but to strike a channel even when your content has been removed is extreme. A copyright infringement, which is the commonly used strategy from huge music channels, for example, enables the footage to be removed and would also provide an opportunity to reach an agreed settlement, although that too is rare. I would have happily paid you for the footage, which commercially makes more sense and is much fairer than crippling a small non-monetized channel. Even an opportunity to have negotiated a fair resolution with you would have been reasonable. It's clear you're not interested in reconsidering your stance, which is unfortunate. I find it very un-Australian, which is quite ironic considering this is over a product that is quite possibly the most iconic Australian item of all. Regards. It's totally about him missing out on dollars, and yet he's got no qualms about preventing anyone else from making any money either. So then at 11 p.m., which I was asleep by then, I woke up to this morning. Hi, Tori. Again, you have taken a clip from a television archive and rebroadcast it on your own channel, in the process avoiding payment of fees and obtaining clearance from Vegemite for the usage. YouTube has obviously flagged this and removed it. There's no process of negotiation before the strike is given. It just happens. It's quite simple. Do not use content from elsewhere without asking for permission. Would you take images or videos from Alamy or another supplier and think that's fair, then call them un-Australian when the system caught it out? I rarely respond to these emails, as sadly it almost always degenerates down to that kind of level of name calling. Good luck with your channel. And yeah, that was it. So I got a lecture again. Again, he didn't know whether I'd spoken to Vegemite or not, unless he's bought the footage and anyone that asks Vegemite for permission, they message him and say, release this to the Kraken. I don't fucking know. He's told me that YouTube did the strike, not him, which is bullshit. I wasn't trying to negotiate pre the strike because obviously that's happened, but I was offering compensation if that would mean he would remove the strike. He still wouldn't go down that road with me. Then I got a lecture and mansplaining about the lecture was don't use content from elsewhere without asking for permission. And then I also got mansplaining about how copyright laws work. And then boohoo, he accuses me of the conversation degenerating to low-level name calling. And then put good luck with your channel on the end, like knowing full well he's pretty much fucked it. So yeah, that's where we are. I was thinking of writing to Vegemite. The only problem is last night before I got the email of who'd struck my channel, I thought it was Vegemite, and I sent Bega an email saying, you struck my channel, you bastards. I didn't say you bastards, but I don't know if they'll be that responsive if I email them after the email they got from me last night, which wasn't nasty. I actually turned their jingle into an email but said I'm an unhappy little Vegemite, as sad can be. So yeah, if I can find a different email address or something, I mean, I just use the submit an inquiry form on the Beagle website. If I can find an official Vegemite email address, I might just write to them and apologise profusely and offer them compensation if that's what they want. But Vegemite hasn't done anything about that. It was him, the guy that can't even claim ownership. I mean, he's probably bought it, but he can't claim that he created it. And yeah, I don't see any point in responding to him because he hasn't acknowledged my apology. Hey, Aussie Flag, I just read through the email exchange with the guy from the channel that struck me, but he's pretty much told me to fuck off. He lectured me about copyright law. He mansplained it to me. He completely refuses to budge. He told me that YouTube struck me, not him, which is bullshit. Why would YouTube email me an address saying this is the person who struck your channel? And when I did my research today, YouTube's pretty clear on the process. It says that they flag content that's being used, and it's up to the owner of that content to decide what to do. And they can either put an infringement on you, and I've had a few of those from some music that I've played, and I'm fine with that. If those videos end up making money, I'm more than happy for it to go to the musicians. But a heap of musos I've used haven't done anything about it. One option is no action, and the other option is strike, and he struck me. G'day, Ivor. So he lied too, and I even offered to pay him whatever it would have cost me to have, if I'd paid him, if I'd done the right thing after the lecture I got from him. I even offered to pay whatever amount, and he didn't even accept that. So I just got lectured on what an asshole I am, and I know that I fucked up by playing it, but he missed the point. Like, to strike a channel is just shit. And if it was his material, like if it was his creation, I'd kind of be like, dude, I'm so sorry. It was an innocent mistake. How much would you have charged me if I'd approached you? If I knew your website existed, let me know and I'll transfer the money immediately. But it's not his content. I mean, he might have bought it to put on his website. And the emails, he just continually talks about money and essentially accuses me of dodging paying any fees. I didn't fucking know anything about this dude. How much stuff have we played on my channel alone? Just putting the emails inside because I'd hate for them to blow away. Only because they would become litter. But they'll certainly be a good fire starter next time I crank up the fire pot. If my sister wasn't coming for dinner and we were going for a walk, I would have actually lit the fire pot. I'd be sitting down near my fire pot with a hot toddy and a cry. Exactly, Mel. He didn't make the song, but the problem is that the link that it came from, unfortunately, is a dude who's got a website that people pay him to use that sort of content. Now, I don't know what sort of arrangement he's got with Vegemite or whatever, but his issue with me was I'm horrible. I did the wrong thing. I skirted around paying him. He assumed I hadn't got permission from Vegemite. He doesn't know that for a fact. And he's not removing the strike. And he very nastily at the end of his second email, if anyone wants to rewind and listen to them, there's not many. I mean, there's 4 emails total, 2 from me, 2 from him. But yeah, he quite meanly at the end of his last email put good luck with your channel. No, I didn't tell him that, Mel, because I don't think it's relevant. I mean, at the end of the day, I played it. I'm responsible for it. It's just a bugger that was from that channel. Because I'm sure that there's a shitload of other Vegemite ads floating around that aren't from his fucking channel. That's the unfortunate part, because his YouTube channel, which he pointed out, we're no longer putting anything on there because creators are ripping us off all the time, including you, essentially, is what he said. Um, and we'd go broke if we kept putting things on YouTube because people just keep pinching them. I mean, it's obviously happened to him several times, at least several times, because he said, I rarely respond to emails like this because they always degenerate to personal insults. All I said was it's un-Australian, which is ironic because Vegemite has to be one of the most iconic Australian things around. Oh, I'm okay, Francesca. I mean, it's like I said, the thing that I'm sad about is that channel represented an outlet for me when I was really sick, and it was exciting when I started to feel like I wanted to be creative again, and I started doing things on my channel, and I'm really proud of the little community that was building as well. And just all the love and care that's in chat. And yeah, it's the fact that it represented, survival in a way, and a massive progress in my recovery as well. So that's the thing that really bums me, because I was very attached to it in that regard, and I was really proud of it. I was proud that I was able to start building a channel when I was the sickest I've ever been in my life. So yeah, I mean, I'm very emotionally attached to it, and it felt like such a big fat fuck you. Um, no, I pointed out I wasn't making money from my channel. He didn't acknowledge much that I wrote to him at all. He just lectured me, mansplained copyright law, told me I was a thief and an asshole, and didn't even accept my apology. Didn't accept my offer to pay for it. Nothing. I was prepared to pay for something that isn't even in the video, in the live anymore. I know, Ivor, we're all going full on at Vegemite. I do feel a bit bad about that, but that was partly because I didn't get the email from YouTube telling me who struck my channel till it probably came in like when Mel and I were live, but I didn't see it till the live had ended. Thank you, Francesca. It is a beautiful, gorgeous community, but you guys are the reason for that, you know. Yeah, I feel like being a bit of an investigator, Lisa Sky, and seeing if he does have the rights and so on. But yeah, him telling me that it was an automatic process that YouTube struck me, that's not correct. Well, unless somebody can tell me that it is correct, but I did a fair bit of research today, and YouTube were very clear about it. They said they flag the content, and the owner of the content is the one that decides what's done with it, which is why a heap of musicians haven't put in copyright infringements for my stuff. Presumably, they've opted to do nothing, or they haven't even bothered reading their emails, or they've opted for the infringements. So yeah, he lied. I mean, he basically is saying it was YouTube that struck me, not him. YouTube wouldn't even bother with strikes; they just shut you down. Well, I can go live scam baiting on this channel, and considering this is a true crime comedy podcast channel, it's kind of appropriate. But thanks, gorgeous. But yeah, I can go live. Well, this is my Yumtors Chew channel, I suppose. Um, I can always rename it, but it is connected to a podcast. I mean, the majority of my listeners of my podcast are on podcast platforms, not on YouTube. I could always put Yum Tours in brackets at the end of the name, maybe, but yeah, thank you, Mel. That's what I thought. You get emails if people use your videos, and you get to choose if you strike or not. No, we don't need Clark Kent, Aussie Flag, Clark Kent and Yum Tours abuse the fuck out of Vegemite without realising. I mean, that was the logical thing, was that it was Vegemite that had struck my channel. not some dude that has archived crap on his channel that I had no clue that you then need to go to his website and pay for it. You love my decking, Francesca? I'd love to. Unfortunately it's quite getting a bit dark, but it goes the full length of the house. So that's Biscuit's enclosure just there. That's the semi-dead succulent cemetery that I get to see out of my bedroom window. All the spare rooms have got really pretty things outside their windows. And down where my barbecue is, that's a great wall of Biscuit. That's a massive barricade to stop Biscuit going further down because she's not going to jump off the deck at this end. It's 2 stories high. Thank you, Francesca. It's getting a bit cold though. I was only planning on going live for half an hour. I just wanted to let you guys know what had happened and read out those emails, which weren't overly delightful to receive. I'm umming and ahhing about writing to Vegemite because if they see that I was taking the, I mean, I took down my videos on the Yumtors channel where I was blaming Vegemite last night, but yeah, the email that I sent to Bega, they probably just deleted it as soon as they saw it because I was actually mucking around with them and having a bit of fun with them. But that's the other thing. This guy didn't even get my joke. Yeah, I think we've got grey weather coming. I was told today that there's like 2 or 3 days of rain coming and like much colder temperatures. The beach looks so far away from here because my house is built sideways on the hill, like the beach off in the distance, and I can't zoom in, but it's not that far, as you know. But it looks so far on this screen. Like it's literally just down the street, through the dunes. Oh, but we might leave the parodies for a while. I suspect he's going to be on high alert, and I'd hate for him to go after me for something more than just fucking with my channel. He's probably got some terms and conditions that say I can pursue you in a court of law for unpaid fees or something. Even though I offered to pay him, I actually said, you know, I'll pay you for that. But he ignored that. He ignored my apology. It just pisses me off. People make mistakes, right? In hindsight, mistake. But I was also fairly confident that, well, I wasn't confident even, to be honest, I didn't even think about it. I just clicked on the link and we played it. But I haven't had anyone else strike me like original creators of the music that I play. So you sort of get comfortable and just think this isn't, you know, going to be an issue. I've played grabs from TV shows. I've played stuff from other YouTube channels. You name it. But yeah, I mean, maybe down the track, but it's a bit raw for me right now. We'll discuss parodies in another week or two because he kind of busted my chi a bit today. He busted it big time. I've been really flat. I'm so glad my sister's coming down for the night. It'd be nice to hang out with her. I discovered when I was recording my podcast today that Biscuit doesn't like Coldplay, or doesn't at least like me singing Coldplay karaoke, and she full on attacked me. So my sister, when she's coming down tonight, she's going to sing, I'm going to put the karaoke track on, and Ange, who's got a worse voice than me, is going to sing Coldplay's Fix You karaoke style. And I'm going to watch Biscuit attack her, although she probably won't. She'll probably, look how beautiful the sky is. I have had happy moments today too, but I've just been so flat. Cat has good taste then. Oh, come on. Fix You is one of the few Coldplay songs I actually like. And the reason I was using it, I was playing it, was in my podcast, there was a criminal who texted the lyrics to his family members as a threat. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will fix you. He texted that to his mother as a threat. He misunderstood that song's actually meant to be really inspirational and hopeful. All my chins are up, Ivor. Don't you worry about that. It's just a bit raw. I'll think about writing to Vegemite and see. I'm kind of curious to know what arrangement Vegemite's got with this guy. I just can't believe someone who's being so nasty to not even say thank you for your apology or anything. He didn't acknowledge anything. He just yelled at me for being a thief and a criminal and mansplained copyright law to me. I didn't tell him I was a lawyer. Kind of wish I had now, but what's that? Don't you love people who steal content and then call it theirs? His whole channel, his whole channel is other people's work. It's like a, you know, grabs of Aussie TV shows and commercials. I must admit though, the full Vegemite commercial played. It wasn't a snippet of it. But then he's like, you know, you people like you use my material without permission, and you know you're going to send me broke. And no, yeah, didn't acknowledge my apology, my offer for compensation, my request for him to consider retracting the strike, my explanation for my channel, and you know that we were live and I was cooking and we just played it to show some subs, you know, the Vegemite ad. That was, you know, no, I didn't tell him I was a lawyer. Well, I am a lawyer. And then he ends everything. He ends our email conversations with telling me that I've degenerated the conversation by name calling. I said his behaviour was un-Australian. So he's one of those easily triggered snowflakes. And then his parting words, good luck with your channel. After I've pretty much told him, you're killing my channel by doing this, you jerk. I didn't call him a jerk in my email, but I pretty much said I've already lost subs today. So, you know, whatever. Once again, YouTube drama, it's to do with money. Yeah, and it was kind of funny. I said, I think it's really un-Australian that you've done this, considering it's about Vegemite, which is one of the most iconic Australian things there is. So, yeah, it's just a bummer. But, you know, YouTube, you play Russian roulette. You play something from a channel and it's the wrong bloody person, and that's what happened. There'd probably be 3,000 Vegemite commercials floating around on YouTube. And just by luck, it was his channel that it came from. And now Yumtors is silent. And I suspect that he's been equally as horrible to other people too, because he did say, I rarely respond to these emails because they always degenerate to personal insults. Fuck me. Anyway, no, I'm standing my ground on this. It is un-Australian and it's cunty, let's be honest. So, you know, what do you do? But I'm getting really cold, and so my cup of tea is so cold it's gross. I can't drink it. It's just gone down into the garden below. Bit of fertilizer. The sun's over there, but it's not where I am. I should have gone live from down below. I'll show you my land. I'll show you my block. I'm starting to. These are the trees that I got. The 3 lily pillies. Aren't they beautiful? So they're going to go down here because at the moment I've got a very big beach block. Those logs just in front of them, that's where I put my fire pot, and we put cushions, bean bags, and we all sit around down there with the fire pot going. It's gorgeous. But I'm still researching the best place to put the 3 trees because of their roots. Those little white things you can see, they're like filtration ports for my septic tank, and That's why I've got a lot of green down there. But I don't want the roots of the trees to compromise the pipes. So I think that back corner is a good spot for at least one. My neighbour doesn't want one down the front corner over there. Yeah, they can get up to 7 meters. I'm going to be trimming them, though. They killed your lawn. Holy shit. But, yeah, so I've got quite a bit of land. See how high up we are, though? We're 2 stories up. So when people go, why is your cat on your deck? It's like, she's not jumping off there. And up the other end where it's not 2 stories high, she's blocked anyway. The barbecue's in the way. So that's some good info about the lily pillies. But I do love them. They're very pretty. And this pink thing, this is usually like a tub where I put my ice, like a little esky out on the deck when people come for parties and stuff. And after my birthday, the ice melted and became a giant water bowl for Biscuit. She drinks water out of it every day like a dog. I'm hoping she'll fall in one day. My, how I will laugh. I'm only saying that because she attacked me today, singing Coldplay badly. All right, I'm freezing. I'm going to sign off. But, yeah, I mean, all the lives will be happening on this channel now. I might think about the name of it, but maybe Yumtors 2 is the way to go. And some people do watch my or listen to my podcast over here, but it is really, the podcast is really on podcasting platforms. It was just a little YouTube thing. So, yeah, maybe changing it to Yumtors 2. And when I do Smooth Criminal uploads, the people that follow the podcast can still get it on YouTube. But thank you guys for, this is still Sparta. What's that? I don't know what that means. Sparta. What do you mean, Mel? Tell me before I log off. It'll probably take me 2 years to get this channel moving. But like I said, I mean, having you guys here with me now, it's what it's about. I love your support. I do watch movies, and I've watched Spartacus, but the only thing I remember from that is I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Spartacus. What am I missing? Because I watched that when I was at school in the 80s. Thanks, Francesca. Angie's a hoot. She'll Noreen and the scammers. Oh my God, my scam baiting scammers. Both of them have set up scams, and one of them was getting very excited. And I haven't even spoken to them today. I'm just not in the mood. I'm going to have to come up with some really good bullshit stories. One of them, I'm going to say I had my handbag and my laptop and everything stolen, but moving like a dose of salts. Watched 300. Okay. Ooh. All right, I'm going. My fingers are getting so cold I can't unwrap them from my little thing, my Go stick. Actually, if I stand just in here, look at this funky little retro pot that I move all my succulents around, but this one I'm growing red succulents at the moment. These ones have got little red or pinky sort of tips on them. There's a little black one that's snuck in. But, and that succulent pot over here, this one's beautiful. But thank you so much, Grievous, for your support. And I just wanted to let you know what had happened with, your mum had one? I love them. I wish I had more of them. I've only got that one, but I love it. Yes, stay groovy and don't get scammed. I just wanted to let you guys know what had happened with the emails today, and unfortunately, no, I'm not going to have my strike retracted by the striker. And I've also decided not to write back to him, even though it really pisses me off when I don't have a right of reply. I love you too, Mel. Yeah, it's really disappointing. And his nasty little good luck with your channel comment at the end just made me go, I'm choosing my battles and I'm choosing to walk away from this one. I just wish that it hadn't have been on his channel, which I will never support and I will never recommend and I will never name. Um, but look, January the 4th is something to look forward to. It's another thing to be looking forward to. I've already got it in my diary for next year. Woohoo Day, it's called. Um, and I'll just keep doing stuff over here. And fuck, it's really cold. And Biscuit's dinner was 20 minutes ago. In fact, here's a parting comment from Biscuit. Biscuit, what do you think of that man? What do you think of him, Biscuit? He's a cunt. He is a cunt. You're right. Yes, and it's Ivor's birthday too. What a date. Biscuit, what do we think of that man? He's a cunt. Try suing me because my cat called you a cunt. I dare you. I love you guys. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye. Fuck, it's getting cold. Bye.